All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday to start off the week. Just want to do a quick mic check. Make sure you guys can hear me okay. All right, excellent. Good morning, everyone. Perfect, perfect. All right, guys, so let's get to it. Looking forward to this week. Give me 1 second here. Let's get the SPY on up and running here. All right, so looking forward to this week, guys. The SPY right now is slightly gapping up here. So kind of putting a little bit of a bounce here. So let's see what it does today. Very interesting what's going to happen. Again, last time it did this gap down was on December 3rd, right in here. And it was able to rebound pretty nice. So we'll see what it does this coming week. Good morning, Norm. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. I'm great. How about yourself?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Thank you. All right, folks. So we're not going to go over every all the gapper stuff we had yesterday. We're gonna skip that today. There was quite a bit, guys. Again, just a lot of stuff gapping up yesterday. Looks like actually everything that was green here was all red yesterday, following what the market was doing. Obviously, we're getting a little bit of a spike here this morning, so a lot of this stuff is turning back to green, so that's good to see. So we're gonna skip through this. There was a lot of stuff that was in play that traded very nice. LK for the most part. Let's go over LK. LK was one that actually a lot of us traded in the chat room. It just has some really nice setup. Let me get the 1 and the 5. Let's get this out of the way here, and let's look at the 1 minute on LK. So LK was one that was real nice, and I had this actually. It was down over all the way down here. I didn't have it. I only could watch 6 stocks at a time. I did not have it in one of my 6 stocks that I can watch. But we were talking about it in the chat room of a possible good opportunity. And I pulled it up, and there was a nice opening range break up here, and also an ABCD pattern that Andrew took as well. So again, it's just a beautiful trade. Look at this thing, man. Just how nice this thing ripped here, grabbing onto this 9 moving average and just heading very nice all the way up to this level. 39.13 was the level we had off the daily, and then became a great short on top of that. If you were paying attention here, looking for this opportunity to go short, the minute it loses the 20 and the 9, could be a good indication that it wants to be go short here. Also the 5, it didn't quite engulf, but I was looking at this, and I also put up the 15-minute. If you look at the 15-minute, see if I remember which hockey that is for the 15-minute. I don't have it labeled here. F8, yeah, so F8 is a 15-minute. If you look at the 15-minute, you do get a nice rejection here, pretty good engulfing, a nice pullback, right? So this is a good area to go short. Now, we're not gonna go through stocks, but I want to speak on this a little bit in regards to patterns, guys, because I do get a lot of messages. Well, that doesn't look like in a perfect engulfing pattern. Why did you take that trade? I've been trading live for about 3 years now, and if there's one thing that I have learned, if you wait for the perfect textbook pattern every single trade, you would take a trade once a month. So just be aware that things are not going to be picture perfect every single time. Something like this, I will consider this not an engulfing pattern, but I will consider this a strong rejection of this level and almost engulfing the previous candle, right? So to me, this is a very bearish pattern here for me, right? So I see a pullback here. I won't be going long in this area. I'll be looking to possibly go short if I'm playing off the 15-minute, right? If we look at the 15-minute, I will look to do that. So again, guys, if you look for the perfect, textbook picture diagram of an engulfing pattern, of an ABCD pattern, or any type of strategy that you're trading, you're going to have a really tough time because, again, the market is very random and you're not going to get those picture perfect setups every single time. So you got to have some flexibility, as well as not too flexible that you're just taking anything that looks somewhat similar to any type of strategy. So just keep that in mind as you're developing your trading and your edge in this beautiful career. Norm, what do we have in regards to the SPY this morning? What is happening in that area? Any new news in regards to the coronavirus and a lot of other things that might be going on this morning and this week?
There's nothing. I mean, same coronavirus news generally. There's a couple of different reports, but nothing substantial. I heard something about maybe a patient being cured, but I think that was the government that said it. I don't personally trust anything the Chinese government says, so you never know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Economic data. Well, this morning, 8:30 a.m., we had durable goods orders come out. They came out weaker than expected. Um, and capital goods orders. Later, we have home prices and consumer confidence then at 10 a.m. So that's what's going on today. There is a Fed meeting with the announcement first of this year and decade. That's taking place today and tomorrow. The announcement itself will be at 2 o'clock, as it always is, right at 2 o'clock. And then at 2:30, the 2 o'clock is the rate decision and their press release, and then Jerome Powell press conference at 2:30. So
Gotcha.
big couple of days, and obviously we've got a really heavy week of earnings here going on as well.
Excellent, thank you. All right, guys. So let's make some room over here on these on our watch list. Let's get to what we have here. So we have two really nice gappers here, 61% and 55%. Mid flow stocks, and it might be related. It's just the way, because that's a nice, very big gap here. So let's look at DLH, excuse me, DLPH. So this one is up 60% this morning, 1.4 million shares traded. Norm, what do we have going on with this one? This is a big pop here today.
This is an all-stock buyout by Borg Warner, which is also on our list, BWA.
BWA. Oh, okay, so here we go. All right, so we have some possible buyout here. Now let's see how the pre-market action is. Looks very active. So what type of buyout it is? Is it something that's tradable?
It's an all-stock. It's all stock.
Okay. All right, so we'll keep it on here, see how this trades. Then BWA is the other one. Let's just put this on here as well, just to keep an eye on it. So this one is gapping down 7.4. Usually the person that's buying is the one that takes the hit on the gap down. The one that's being bought usually is the one that gaps up. Usually, not always the case. Let's move over here. We'll put them up here, DLPH, and then we'll put down here BWA. All right, so next we have XLRN. This one this morning, 192,000 shares traded. This one is up 55%. Okay, pre-market activity, not the best. Let's see how our daily doesn't look that much interesting neither. This is a pharmaceutical company. No, this is a nice big pop this morning as well. What's going on with this one?
They had some positive drug trial data that they have released.
Okay. All right, so this is nice. Pre-market activity is looking very active here. 192, a nice big gap. What is the flow on this one? So 52 million shares flow. ATR is $2, and this thing was trading at around $50, up $29 today, $30 this morning. So again, this is definitely going to be active and in play. But these pharmaceutical companies, you want to be very cautious with, guys. The spread's not all that bad for pre-market right now, 55 cents. Hopefully it gets better. But again, for these pharmaceutical companies, you want to be very cautious. We'll keep an eye on that one. Here's our buddy LK, which has been very nice to us. LK, 234,000 shares traded. Has already putting in a very nice pre-market activity, somewhat doing what the market is doing, kind of bouncing back a bit here. I'm going to remove some of these levels we already have. The highs and lows are going to create a good support and resistance for us here already, so we can fine-tune that a little bit later. But at the moment, it has a great pre-market activity, guys. This one has been trading very well with a very clean intraday play. The one thing about OK, you have to be cautious is sometimes the spread can go from like 10 cents to 5 cents on a give without giving notice. So just be cautious of that. Look at that spread before you get into the trade, and definitely manage your risk accordingly. In this type of stock, it moves a lot, so you can take lesser shares, expecting a bigger move and still a decent payout, and also limiting your risk on the downside if the move goes against you. MRNA, also another one that has been on our list. We traded this last week as well. Had a decent day yesterday. Today we are gapping up 3.3 this morning, so kind of leaving this area of resistance that we tested twice last week and also yesterday. So I'm looking forward to see how that's going to play out. Pre-market activity is really all over the place, and mRNA is one that it can be very choppy, guys. So another one that you want to have a little extra cautious when trading as well. Let's take a look at IQ this morning. IQ is and IQ traded yesterday. Actually, IQ had a nice comeback. One of the stocks that actually closed the gap yesterday. Not a lot there. A lot had a nice pop like this, like OK, and it kind of came back down. So a lot of stuff
On a block trade. Carlos, just a heads up. Of the 116,000 shares traded, 101,000 are in a block trade.
Yeah, so you can see it down here in time of sales. Thank you for that. So yeah, a lot of stocks yesterday actually popped up and came right back down. Didn't really hold. This one actually held and kept going. So today it's not really in play, guys. This block trade is causing a lot of the volume, as Norm pointed out there. So not one that we're going to watch this morning. But I had a beautiful day yesterday. Let's look at PFE. PFE this morning. What do we have here? 1.2 million shares traded. This one is up. This one's down. 2.1 this morning. Pre-market's not looking all that great right now. Let's get the 5. Let's get the daily. Yeah, so pre-market's not looking all that great. I do like the fact that the daily is kind of losing some of these levels here, so that could be interesting. But overall, it's just not the best pre-market activity. All right, let's see what we got here. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Let's go over
This
to,
one's this
yep.
Pfizer's gapping down on earnings. They released this morning, missed on earnings and revenues. The biggest issue was a drug, breast cancer drug that fell short of what they anticipated.
Oh, gotcha. All right, so that's a nice catalyst for us to look at on the PFE and the daily. Again, it's holding on to this area of prior resistance right here. It was actually the low from yesterday as well. So definitely worth watching. Again, pre-market doesn't look great, but this stock tends not to have a great pre-market activity. So we'll definitely keep an eye on this one. Next, we have JD, our buddy. Now, JD's is a hit or miss on JD, but this week, a lot of you guys trade this very, very nice. So good job there. JD at the moment is gapping out 2.2. Somewhat decent pre-market activity. Not the best at the moment, but it can get better if the volume can start coming in. 126 right now on JD. Definitely worth watching. Kind of trying to close this gap a little bit from gapping down yesterday with the rest of the market. Next, we have HOG, HOG in here. So HOG this morning, 139,000 shares traded. We are down 6.3. Now, any news on HOG? There's a big drop for them on the daily.
Yep, they had earnings this morning, and their earnings and revenues fell short. But they did. There, it was, I believe, a slight increase year over year in their earnings, even though it didn't meet estimates.
Okay, gotcha. So we'll keep an eye on that one. I definitely like the drop here. The pre-market is not great, but again, this type of stock, nicey stock, especially Harley Davidson, doesn't move very well. It can be a little bit choppy on the daily. Also, I think it is.
Harleys in general don't move very well.
Yeah. So again, it could be a one to watch if we can get some good catalysts and drop some of these levels. And they are a foreign stock now too, right? They're owned by. They're not really owned here in the U.S. anymore. Correct? If I'm not mistaken there.
Yeah, you're right. I can't remember who bought them
Me
out
neither.
though.
Yeah, I can't remember who
Or
bought
at
them out.
least they were going to be up for sale. I don't know if it ever went through. It's technically still a U.S. stock.
Yeah,
I can't remember if they ended up getting bought out or not, frankly.
gotcha. All right, so we'll keep an eye on this one, guys, on the catalyst of some negative news here. We'll see how that turns out. BWA, we have up here a buyout between these two, the EDLPH and BWA. And this one keeps coming up. NVAX, what do we have going on here? On NVAX. This one is gapping down today, 8.4. This is the one, guys, that popped up quite a bit here. It was up like, what, 40% or some crazy number like that. And then just been chopping around here on the daily. Now, this is not my type of stock to trade. So just stay away from these type of stocks that can move like this, trading on a lower price. It is not a low flow stock, but I'm treating it as a low flow just because the way the price action is. We looked at it on this day here, and it was not great. I think on one of these days, it put in a great short opportunity, but I don't think we had available inventory for sure anyway. So not a fan of it, but it is active this morning, 317, down 8.4, and I do have it here as a possible for our low flow, well, not low flow stock, but more of that risky pile. Norm, what do you have this morning on your list that you like?
3M should be popping up here pretty soon. It is down 2%, right at 1.9, and almost 100,000 shares traded. That is on earnings news. Got a bunch of earnings today after the close. Apple, AMD are a couple, so they might be in play today. Starbucks as well. And I'm still looking around, digging to see if I can find anything else that's special.
Gotcha. So AMD is coming up a bit here as well, kind of following the market a bit. It's only up 1.8. Once it hits 2, it'll definitely hit our scanners. Worth watching. AMD's been ripping pretty nice. You know, if the market decides to start rallying a little bit here, it can help a lot of these stocks like the AMD, the Apples, and the MUs that all just basically follow the market on this drop. After they've been trading very strong. Let's look at MU. So these stocks are all going to be great to keep an eye on, especially if the market rallies. Guys, what do you guys have on your end? What do you like this morning that we do not have on our list? Let's go down here. David from Connecticut is giving a CGC. See what that is up to. Yep, this one is popping up here. Got some okay volume, 109. And again, a lot of these stocks are going to be bouncing back. There's a lot of green this morning bouncing back because the market is also bouncing back. So this could be a good possible. And you do have some areas that you can hit here. This $25 mark here could be a good target for CGC. And CGC, remember CGC took a very big hit back in November. It was able to crawl out of that $14 up, trading at 22. So again, it's been having some positive news. And that positive news is just coming down because if you go back, you can see this thing was trading at $50 and took a very nice hit basically almost all year. All year has been on a beautiful downtrend all the way down to $12 from 50. So again, I don't know if it has anywhere else to go but up. Let's see what we have here on Tesla. Let's see what we got on with Tesla here this morning. So here is Tesla. Tesla right now, it's great pre-market activity, guys. Not as great as we have seen in the last couple of days and also last week. Last week, the pre-market was just amazing. Really good volume. We're getting amazing volume here and a great pre-market activity. Not saying that this is not great, just comparing it to what we had before in the past. So Tesla's got some potential, guys. This thing can get up here and start testing some of these levels, the high from 2 days ago and also the all-time high sitting slightly below 600 there. So I think this would be a good one to watch this morning, especially if the market's going to go up. If the market's going to rally, guys, some of these stocks, as I mentioned in my recap yesterday, some of these stocks probably overreacted a little bit to the news, and they've been doing very well. There's no reason for them, besides the market dropping, for them to be taking a hit like they did yesterday. BYND.
Beyond the meat.
Here we go. So BYND this morning, BYND has a funny daily chart because you got a lot of gapping up and down here. But overall, it has this beautiful wedge that's kind of forming here off this 124, 123.70 level, right where the previous day close is. If you see a lot of days opening and closing right around that previous day close, 124.75. Pre-market is looking good here as well. And what I like about it is, again, it's doing higher lows here on the daily. And you have some very good levels that I like to test. It loves to test this 129.70, 64. You can see it here. And it loves this 135.26. So BYND is interesting. A stock that's not easy to trade, but just looking at the technicals here, I definitely like the way that looks. Some good volume, guys. 396,000 shares traded. This is worth having on our list. FFIV this morning. What do we have going on here, guys? No volume on this one. Pretty dead right now. Nice drop, but again, just no volume. And also the daily seems very, very choppy. F5 Networks, not sure what that is, but it's just not trading very well this morning. And NVC, this one was great yesterday. Gave us a good opportunity, giving some back this morning, down 22%. So basically gave back what it gained yesterday and then some. So again, I just, these type of stocks, they're very difficult to trade. Once you have a great day, the next day you want to be cautious and be aware of those possible fake outs, right? So just be aware of this stock today. I won't be watching this one. It is a low flow stock, I believe, as well. And NVC. Yes, a 2 million shares flow. So for me personally, I'm just going to stay away from it. But if you're watching low floats and stocks like this could be one that's very active this morning. Again, it's been selling off the entire morning. So I'm not sure if it has the juice to try to test these 16, 15, 14 levels. So just be aware of it. Wait for a good opportunity. The open is going to be wild on this one. You might have people trying to bail on this that are probably here long thinking the party's over. Or you might have people wanting to jump in, have the fear of missing out, and drag this thing all the way back up. So just wait that 5 minutes, guys. Be very, very cautious and just really watch the number of shares you take on here. Baba for continuation.
Carlos, yep. Did you look at CGC?
Yes, we did. We did.
Okay.
Yeah, we looked at CGC. Popped up here, and we'll go back to it in a second. But yeah, I did look at CGC. David from Connecticut pointed it out. Here's Baba, guys. Baba has actually a decent pre-market activity. Again, a lot of these stocks are going to be trying to close this gap and get back to their normal pattern of trading. Besides, obviously, because they had this gap down yesterday. So this could be another one to watch. I'm not going to put it on my list, guys, because I personally do not trade Baba well. So I just avoid it. The few times I had it on my list with a great pre-market activity, great action, even with a great intraday play, it's just a little bit more difficult for me to read this stock. It has nothing to do with the price, because I can read Apple a little bit better, and Apple's actually sometimes it was more expensive than this one now. It's just something about the way this price actually moves at. It's just not, it doesn't fit well into my style of trading. XLRN, let's look at this one here. This one is nice. This one is nice. Oh, we have this already. Yeah, so it's moving nicer now. This one is nice. Yeah, gapping up 50%. I like the drop here. We do have some potentials. And here we want to be cautious. We're going to mark down our low of our pre-market here once it settles in when we do these levels. But although this stock is selling off now, we don't want to be short biased because we see plenty of times. We saw this on IBM a couple of days ago, where again it was selling down. If it would have lost this level, it would have been great. But it found some support here and it was able to rally up nicely, almost getting back towards the high of the pre-market. So, but I like the movement here. Good volume, up 50%. There's definitely going to be some movement out of XL RN this morning. Let's take a look at what our friends in YouTube have for us. See what we got going on here. Set down. All right. SPCE. SPCE. This one has been active over the last couple of days. This could be interesting. I don't like the pre-market as much at the moment, but it is a nicey stock, so they tend to move a little bit wild. Now, this one here, guys, we've been watching it for some time. The intraday play is okay. It's not great. I think there's some other ones here that I like better than this one. But overall, if you were able to trade this successfully the last couple of days, has been gapping up. Definitely keep an eye on this one. But I'm not gonna add it to my list at this moment. Actually, you know what? No, I take that back. I'm gonna put it as a possible because I know there could be some stuff in here like these two. I'm gonna take off. They're buyouts. There could be some stuff here that I might not watch, and this could actually be a good one to watch. So we'll put that on here just to go back to it. NINO, I almost say NIO, which is another stock that's been very active. INO this morning has got some volume here, guys. Kind of selling down a bit. What I like about it is holding on to this 510 level again. It did that yesterday, low of the day, so it's holding to this 510. It could be a good one if it can sell down. Now look at the pre-market activity. It looks great. We got some good volume here. Pretty much flat at the moment, so it can go either way here. But again, it's just got way too many to watch on here. And this type of stock with this price range is not really one of my favorite stocks to watch. So when we have a list so big, we want to be very cautious to not overextend ourselves in what we can watch. Let's look at PCG. PCG doesn't have a great pre-market activity right now, but the daily looks interesting because again, we kind of every time we consolidate, we find a way to break out of it. Another consolidation, and hopefully we can find a way to break out of it. This thing has been beaten up pretty bad. We already closed this gap here that the one of the few gaps that we had. We closed that one. So again, we got some potentials to run up to this level here. It's a nice level there around 16, 17. So yeah, this looks good. I don't like the pre-market action and the fact that there's not a lot of activity at the moment. You do have volume, but there's not a nice flow to it right now. So I'm not going to watch PCG at the moment. CGC we looked at CGC. CGC here. CGC at the moment, you got a nice big trade here, 41,000 shares. But CGC could be a good possible, guys. We talked about this could be one that heads to 25. Again, the pre-market activity right now is not looking all that great in regards to price action, right? We're not getting that type of flow. We do have the volume. A lot of that volume sitting here on this 41,000 shares traded. We can put it here as a possible, guys, because I know some stuff I'm going to take off this main list, but not one of my favorites at the moment. MRNA we do have here, guys, so thank you. That one is on there. Yeah, we do have MMM as a possible. That's on here, and that's on news, I believe you mentioned, Norm, correct?
They had earnings this morning.
Earnings, yeah. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. All right, guys, again, we have another huge list, so we definitely got our work cut out for us. Let's head over to announcements, and then we'll come back. Let's fine-tune this list, take out whatever does not look great, and then we can fine-tune it and see if you guys have anything else that might look great that we can add to this.
Yeah, I just want to remind people in the room while you pull that up, Carlos, that the off-topic tab, if you have something that's not directly related to picking out a stock, if you have questions about technical stuff, if you have questions about why we're picking something out, you might put it in the off-topic tab. Just try to keep the regular main chat tab clean for discussing specific trades and or ideas. That having been said, here are the announcements for today. DAS replay features live. There's a new beta version of DAS. That gives you the ability, if you have IB and DAS, that you can use it there. So otherwise, if you are using the Bearable Trader Simulator version of DAS, you do have access to that as well. Upcoming success webinars. Tomorrow, Naz and Andrew, day trading options. Can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Next week, Jonathan Katz, mental prep and routine. On the 12th, we're going to have Mike Bellafiore from SMB Capital, and then a two-part series the 19th and 26th of February with Ed Martin from Adverge Joe Trader on trend trading. We do have, it's a long time since we've done one of these, but we're going to have a YouTube live Ask Me Anything. That's going to be obviously on YouTube. It'll be this coming Thursday night, I believe at 8 p.m. Carlos, you've already scheduled that, I believe. Is it at 8 p.m. Eastern?
Yep, 8 p.m. Eastern time, and we'll send the link
Awesome.
out in a bit.
The link will be coming out soon. Andrew's trying to make it to the Middle East for a meetup, potentially in Dubai. There's not a date yet, so check the forum. AB will put the link up both in the chat room and in YouTube. And if you are in that part of the world or would like to go there, you can try to figure out what day and where you guys are going to do that meetup. If you're watching us on YouTube but have not tried out the chat room, you can do so at a discount by using the promo code premarket24. Does not auto renew or turn into any other kind of membership. Also, you've got Andrew's, Carlos, and my Twitter handles there at the bottom. We are active on Twitter and post everything from posting trades, watch lists, spots, everything else. So also, DMs are open, so you can always get in contact with us that way. Also, if you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, you'll be notified whenever we go live with new content. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you, Norm.
Raj, to answer your question, the February 12th success webinar with Thor got moved with Mike Bellafiore taking that spot. It'll be later. It'll be postponed. Take care, guys.
All right, excellent. All right, folks, let's look at this list here. Let's just go through it first and see what we can take off from here and what we can either put on a secondary list or just scrap completely. So DLPH here, and this one is active, guys. Norm, you mentioned this is a buyout, so I'm not sure if I'm going to have this one. It does have a good range right now. So part of me wants to watch it, but just I know these buyouts sometimes don't trade all that great. Also, we have BWA, which doesn't have a lot going on with it. This is one gapping down that's kind of buying out DLPH. So I'm just going to remove these two from here, guys, at the moment. Let's get, hold on, let's delete. Here we go, delete, and delete this one also. Perfect. Now, XLRN, this one I do like, guys. A nice gap here, 50%. And if it can lose this level here, we can have a lot of room, obviously, to start closing this gap. Hopefully, it doesn't run too much. Also, if it finds some kind of support here in the pre-market, we can have a rally and head back towards this high of the pre-market. So definitely like the way that one is playing out. LK, guys, I'm definitely gonna watch. It's been giving us good opportunity, so might as well keep it on the watch list. I had a great trade on this one yesterday. So did Andrew, and so a lot of the members here. It's been somewhat easier to identify these patterns on LK, and we're getting some continuation out of LK this morning. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. Here's MRNA, this one as well. This was a little more choppy, not as clean, but there's been some opportunities here and there also on MRNA. So we'll keep an eye on that one. PFE also has got some news going on here, barely holding on to the low of yesterday here. So I like the way this is setting up nicely here. Some great volume, down 2%. Want to keep an eye on that one. JD's one of those tough stocks. When I do watch it, it doesn't trade well. When I take it off, you guys are showing me all these beautiful trades you took, and the FOMO is just builds up nicely. So I am going to keep it here as a top possible right now, and I will definitely add it on if it starts looking better. HOG at the moment, this one is gapping down 6.7, 168,000 shares traded. I'm gonna watch this one as well. It's a nice big gap here. Lost a nice level of support that we had around 35, 34.50. So we're gapping down here. We got some good levels here, so we watch that. Tesla's great pre-market activity at the moment, guys. Looks like it wants to head back up and start testing these 580s, 600 levels that we have on that, so I'll keep an eye on that. BYND has a great pre-market activity, and I like the possible breakout here, and we have two great levels this stock loves to test, that 129.64 and that 135, so I'll keep an eye on BYND. Let's look at our possible. JD will come back to it. Triple M, also another good possible. We'll hit our scanners in a bit once it gets over 100,000 and it has up down 2%. AMD this morning. So the AMD, Apple, and MU, these three here, I'm going to have here on our secondary list. If the SPY starts rallying pretty nice, these are stocks you can actually look at and get some opportunities out of, because they're going to tend to follow the SPY today, just like they did yesterday. The SPY dropped. The SPY did rally a little bit in the morning, and a lot of these stocks did rally back up instead of selling down. I guarantee you, if the SPY would have sold down and lost the low of the day and headed further down, all these stocks would have followed suit, also heading down. And these stocks will give you a good opportunity on Apple, AMD as well. Yep, AMD does have earnings after close. There's some other ones that Norm mentioned that have earnings today, so they could actually be in play this morning and towards the end of the day, or even throughout the day, depending what the what the sentiment is of what the possible earnings could be, right? SPCE also another possible as well. Not one of my favorites, but we're going to keep it on here. And we have CGC. If it can get more volume and break out of here, I'll definitely bring it up to my main watch list. And here, NVAX. For me personally, I'm going to remove this one, guys, because I'm not going to watch it, and I'm not going to trade it. So let's fine tune. Let's get some levels for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 here, which is pretty decent. And then as we get closer to 9:30, we can fine tune this, tweak this a little bit, take some off, add some on what we see when it builds up, as the pre-market builds up. So low of our pre-market for XLRN, we have 78 basically. The high of our pre-market sitting at 91.05. Just gonna go to the left here and see what do we have in regards to levels. So do we have anything in the top area here? Anything between this gap? We do not. Right, so going back to 2013, this is the all-time highs that we have hit today, and the only closest area of support that we have is this one here at 59.48. So we're definitely in no man's land up here by ourselves with the price action. We do have a very clean, nice pre-market activity, guys. Look at the ATR on this; is very high today. We're sitting at 91 as the high, 878 as the low. You want to be very cautious on the number of shares you take here. And the spread is 30 cents. I thought it was going to get better by now. This is not a great spread. And really, if you look at we talked about this, look at the number of shares here. There's nothing here. There's probably somebody with 50 shares here. The spread here is actually 50 cents, not 30, right? This is where you have the next one here. And also you have 0 here. So just be very cautious, guys. Look at the spread before you take a trade. Make sure it is in your favor. You can look at it here on the level 1 as well. 79.50 cents is your spread on this stock. Let's look at LK. Just go back real quick. So the only levels we have really is 91, 78.80, 78.07, and 59.48. After that, you just want to look at the whole dollars, 82.50, 85, 87.50. These whole dollar numbers are going to be important for this one. Here is LK, guys. This one is one of my favorites because it's trading very well in the pre-market. It has proven to trade very well at the open as well. It does move a lot, so you have to be cautious with the number of shares you take to control your emotions, but you can trade it very nicely and very clean. Here we have 41.73. This is a good level. You have a support happening here, also support there. We lost it a couple of days ago, and then we gapped down yesterday. Towards the bottom, guys, we do have a nice area right here that was prior resistance. The resistance here, close, not quite, but right here, definitely a resistance. And then finally, we break out, so we're making higher highs. Higher highs on the lows here. We break out of this area, and what we do, we come back and retest this now as support once here and once here. So again, that's a good level you want to have on your list. If I don't think we're going to head down there, but if we lose a previous day close and the low of yesterday, this is your target you want to be aiming for. Towards the top, 41.73, you have 44, and then you also actually have this level all the way up here. And you have this one in here as well. I think we marked this before. I just deleted it. 47.25. You have several days bouncing off that level, opening and closing around that 47.25. That's a long way to go. I'm looking forward to probably getting to 41.73. It would be a nice target. 47.25 is a stretch unless we have a huge rally on the SPY. MRNA, this one, guys, is not one of my favorites, but we'll put some levels on here. 24.26, high of the pre-market, low of the pre-market, sitting slightly below the high of yesterday, 23.25. Let's go over here to the left and see if we do have some levels we can look at. Got a nice, look at this nice, beautiful, extreme double top here of this level, a nice reversal. Let's zoom in here and see what we can find. Clearly, this is a level up here, 28. 96 is a great level. You do have one here as well, 26.15. The reason why I like 26.15, look at the nice pop to 26.15, and look at how some of these days are being tested as resistance on that 26.15 and also support as well. So definitely a level you want to have. And then towards the bottom, guys, I think you have plenty. I don't think you need to add any more towards the bottom. If we go back to the daily chart, you have the previous day close, the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. There's plenty of support in here. Hopefully, I would love for this to rally towards the top, opposed to the bottom, because we have less resistance heading towards the top. It can have more opportunity to run. PFE, guys, I like the fact that we're barely holding on to this low from yesterday. We do have a level here at 38.87. That is a good one. We have another one here at 37.75. That's good as well. And then we have 41.36 up here. So again, I think your levels are set there from the last time we looked at this stock. And looking at it now, they still look very decent and very relevant. So we'll keep it just like that. HOG, this one here, our low of our pre-market sitting at 31.81. Let's see where our high, basically the low from yesterday. So don't need to mark that down. Here we have 34. 04. So we'll mark that down in here. And this is a good level too as well. Slightly above the price action, 32.77. You can see how this thing bounces off of that and changes direction. So 32.77 you want to have marked down. So below 31.85, our low of our pre-market. We do have a very clean level here, obviously, where you get the rejection, the support, excuse me, and it bounces back nicely. And then in between there, you do have this level here at 31.21, where you have several days, stopping at that level as resistance and support at 31.21. So I think that's plenty of levels on the HOG. Let's look at Tesla this morning. Tesla, the levels are going to be a lot easy because it's not a lot towards the top. Towards the bottom, you have your highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. You can mark down this beautiful level here, which was resistance here. Broke out of that nicely, comes back and retests that $500 mark, and then we take off again. You can see the highs and lows all in this area here. And I think the only real level you need to mark is actually 2. 581, 46, and also the all-time high sitting around 594.72. So Tesla this morning, what I like about it, guys, look at the pre-market activity. We're starting to build a great pre-market activity here with some volume, 232, and climbing. It's going to be hitting our scanners pretty soon once it goes over 2%. BYND pre-market is winding up nicely, guys, against this previous day close. Looks like it's going to break out of it pretty soon. We have plenty of levels for this one. Do not need to add anymore. 129.64, the high from yesterday. 135 has been the area that has not been able to break out of twice. Huge rejections off that level. So again, if you're in this trade and you get to that level, definitely take some profits out because you know what can happen again if we cannot break out of that one. And then the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days towards the bottom. All the way down here, we do have about 3 days holding this 107, so we'll mark that down. And then we also have this one here, 113 as well on BYND. All right, so I somewhat like this list. I think we have a pretty decent list, especially with LK. Not much mRNA, not a fan of that one. Hog looks good. I think Tesla looks great. BYND looks good. V is giving us Uber. Yeah, look at Uber. I see it popped up here. So we'll take a look at that. We have some other ones on here, SAP as well. So we'll look at those also. And then our possibles list, JD. Triple M has news, but not looking all that great right now. AMD, Apple, I'm going to look for these. If the SPY does anything exciting, this will be good to watch. SPCE, let's go look at that one. Let's remove the levels here. SPCE, our high of our pre-market at 1842. The low sitting right above the previous day close around 1762, so we'll mark that down. Then above that you have the highs and lows and below from the last 2 trading days on there. Pre-market activity starting to build up. It's actually starting to get a little better, guys. If we can get a nice range going here with some direction, I think SPCE can be nice to watch this morning, but I'm going to keep it down here as possible. CGC still not giving anything great, so I'm going to remove it from my list. So we'll remove that one just to kind of fine tune this a little bit more. And let's take a look at Uber. It's coming up in our gap.
Yeah, Uber just got an initiation of coverage out of UBS with a buy rating and a price target of 56, I think. Yep.
Oh, very nice. So let's put Uber on our main list here, and let's fine tune this even a little more. Thank you for that. All right, so we have Uber here. As far as levels, I think the high of the pre-market is probably the only thing that you can mark, and we're probably going to be breaking that pretty soon. Looks like 34.20, 37.24. Aside from that, you have the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days all around the price section right now. Previous day close in here also. I like this level here. You want to mark this down. 35.41. I know again we got positive news, but just in case, this is a great level here because you do have somewhat of resistance happening around here when the consolidation took place. Once it broke out of that level, look at the nice beautiful pop, and then here we build another consolidation. We would not had this breakdown here if it wasn't for the SPY yesterday, so I would assume this thing would just kept consolidating. And with this news, actually that could have been a bigger pop here if we did not have this drop here on the SPY yesterday. Let's see what we have above this 38. Above 38, guys, we do have a area of support right here at 38.42, and another nice level here at 39.98. The reason I like this level, guys, look at the drop, several days all red, and you have a pulse at 39.98, and then you have the consolidation happening between these 2 points, 38.42 and 39.98 on the level. So Uber looks pretty good this morning. Hopefully the volume starts building up and creating a nice pre-market activity. Let's just recap here. So XLRN looks good. Hopefully we can give us a good opportunity here off the 78 level, either short or long. Either way works for us. LK looks great, guys. I really like the way LK is trading the last couple of days. mRNA. This is one that I might move down, guys, to because I can only watch 6 the way my setup is, and actually I only want to watch 6 because more than that's just way too much. You really can focus on more than that if you're watching that many stocks. So we have Uber. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I have one too many because I added Uber. As much as I love BYND, it's a stock that's very difficult to trade, guys. I mean, I love to watch the action, but I just sit there watching it. I don't take it because I know the risk is a little bit higher. So I'm just gonna remove it from this list. Let's just remove it from here and let's get here. We go. Now we got a nice list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. That will be my watch list for today, guys. Let's see. Anything else that we might have missed? Amaris is giving us BA has earnings. Let's take a look at
No, it's
BA.
tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow. Okay, yes, that's tomorrow. So not doing much right now. Pretty dead. Let's look at OBCI holding VWAP. Yep, it is. Careful with this one, guys. This is up 50%. Some good volume. But what's the float on this? OBCI. 3.59. So just be cautious with this one here. But it's very active this morning. Let's look at the 1 minute, see how that's trading. Yeah, it's kind of holding. It popped up, kind of holding here, slightly below the V up, holding this moving average. It does have some potential as it has some good volume. Just be careful with this one. TCOM. What is TCOM doing? A nice bounce back on TCOM. So TCOM could be a good possible, guys, because it's been taking a very big hit with the coronavirus. Once things start getting under control and at least some positive news starts coming out, this can rally back up. Now, right now, it doesn't have great pre-market activity. It's pretty dead on the volume, but you could definitely keep an eye on this one for a possible, possible run up here. What else we have, guys? I think this makes up our list. Norm, do you have anything else that you like?
I'm still looking. I'm focusing on this list that we have. There's
Yeah.
a lot of good stuff on here. Tesla, CGC. I'm gonna have my eye on Nvidia. I'm curious to see what the market does today. If it
Yeah.
holds here, if we try to sell off again, what happens? So I'll definitely, like I mentioned before, with the headline news going on, we'll be listening to the Benzinga squawk all day after we get off this pre-market show in order to, make sure that I hear everything as fast as I can.
Yep, agreed. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what the SPY is going to do as well, because I think that's going to determine a lot, especially on these stocks like you mentioned, the Apples and the MUs and the AMDs of the world. We're going to see what that does there. All right, guys, thank you for joining us on YouTube. This is our list right now. We're going to continue to monitor this and see what else we can come up with. That looks great. I think we have a pretty decent list today, especially given the fact that we had a nice sell-off yesterday. Today will be interesting to see. So again, no FOMO, guys. Wait that 5 minutes. You'd be surprised what it can do to your trading if you wait 5 minutes. You don't have the fear of missing out and jumping in right away, especially when the market is a little bit uncertain on what it wants to do next, what its next move is going to do. So take care, guys. See you tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern time. And remember, we do have for YouTube, we do have our Ask Me Anything with Thor on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern
I
time.
think it's Thor and Peter, I believe.
Oh, it's Thor and Peter. Peter joined the mix.
Yep.
Oh, very
Yep.
nice. I did not have that on there. But yeah, all right, sweet. Love it, love it. Oh yeah, there's a text right there. Peter's committing to the AMA. Love it. All right, guys. So don't miss that out. We'll send the link out shortly. Make sure you hit a reminder on that, and we'll love to see you there. And we'll be answering any questions you might have in regards to trading. Take care, guys. Hit that thumbs up if you like the content we're providing, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern time.
Take care, guys. Trade safe. See you tomorrow morning.